As the war in Bosnia intensified, cities in the eastern half of the country, with majority Muslim populations like Sarajevo, Gorazde and Srebrenica, were under siege, forced into enclaves where ethnic Muslim Bosnians attempted to find safety. Much of eastern Bosnia-Herzegovina is taken over by Bosnian Serb forces. They pushed the Bosnian Muslims out of the region and secured the territory for the ethnic Serbs. This territory later became known as Republika Srpska. With the siege of the enclaves, Bosnian Serb forces took Blue Helmet peacekeepers hostage in an attempt to dissuade NATO from conducting airstrikes. At the start of the war in 1992, Srebrenica was a mountain town of around 8,000 people. But as Muslims from surrounding villages were forced to flee their homes and seek refuge in the city, the population eventually swells to 40,000. The people in Srebrenica were living under siege, in squalid conditions and constant attack from the Bosnian Serb forces, who were controlling access of people and supplies into and out of the enclave. MSF maintained a two-person medical team inside the enclave. In July 1995, Srebrenica fell to Bosnian Serb forces, despite the presence of a battalion of Dutch peacekeepers, and NATO airstrikes, which came too late, were insufficient, and were ineffective. MSF and the United Nations openly expressed concern in the media about the fate of the enclave's men. The United Nations and Dutch BAT, Dutch peacekeeping battalion under UNPROFOR, did not fulfill the promise of protection sufficiently and abandoned the enclave. More than 8,000 men over 16 years of age were separated and massacred during a forced evacuation of the enclave. The context of the war in former Yugoslavia, and more specifically, the fall of Srebrenica and the ensuing massacre, raised difficult questions for MSF, including: did MSF give the population the false impression that they were safe as long as the team was present? Should MSF have advocated earlier and stronger for the evacuation of the civilians from the enclave? Could this have potentially saved people from the massacre? Would a call for an evacuation of the enclave have supported the ethnic cleansing policy of the Bosnian Serbs? Should Srebrenica be viewed as a clear-cut example of the impossibility of protecting populations under international mandates established by the UN? What are the limits of MSF's protection responsibilities when those sanctions to protect a population fail? Furthermore, having trusted the UN Protection Force's commitment to protect the enclave and its population, must MSF accept partial culpability for or complicity in the United Nations' abandonment of the enclave and the ensuing massacre of the population? Should MSF have trusted the ability of the UN protection forces to protect civilians?